To speak on delayed gratification as it relates to my life. Personally, I think this is one of the biggest differences between those that really live a fulfilled life in any area versus those that just kind of drift through life, fail to ever really do anything with it and die with unfulfilled dreams and so forth. So what I mean by that, it could also be, also called setting long-term goals and sticking with them versus thinking about the short term. And I think one of the easiest ways to relay this is on the subject of health. So take, for example, you have a goal. For me, this goal might be to be 70, 80 years old, assuming no major catastrophe hits my life, and still be in as good shape as I am today at 24. And so if that is a goal of mine for my entire life, I know what I have to do to get there. I know it's going to take consistent exercise, staying hydrated, staying away from crappy foods, basically eating well. And honestly, that's all you really have to do is eat well. It's crazy how few people grasp that concept. So if you have that overarching goal when it comes to health, you'll tend to stay away from it. And honestly, for myself, I'm rarely even tempted by things like cake, cookies, all the crap that will bog you down, make you become overweight, miserable, and depressed. So it's interesting, and that's just a perfect example of delayed gratification. I'm willing to not have this little bit of pleasure now because I know what that will do to me in the long run if I do it too much. So just an interesting concept to me. And when it comes to money, that's another very easy way to look at it. And I know there's also a fine line here between having a poverty mentality where you're trying to skimp and save every penny you possibly can. That's also unhealthy, of course. But take, for example, you have an extra $50,000 sitting in the bank for whatever reason, and that number for some people might be 500,000 or 50 million. But let's just take, for most of us, say 50,000 is a nice chunk of change. So, with that 50,000, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to go out and buy a fancy new car, buy a few fancy suits, or the other option would be invested in something that's going to create cash in the long term? And it's interesting because, take for example, you invest in real estate. That 50,000 you can use to go out and buy a $200,000 property that makes you 25,000, maybe 30,000 a year, and your cash on cash return is pretty great. But still, you won't see the results of that immediately. It's going to take you 2, 3, 4 years until you really see the fruits of that. Whereas the instant gratification of a new car is so much greater. So, just an interesting concept. Personally, I believe it's one of the biggest differences between the wealthy and the poor, the healthy and the unhealthy, and all of those things. So, just my thoughts for today. And hope you all have a wonderful day.